I, Jenny Kamara,
promise
I promise
all the things I come to talk
all the things I come to talk
to the TRC
to the TRC
are the truth,
are the truth,
nothing but the truth,
nothing but the truth,
nothing but the truth.
so help me God.
Jenna, how you doing? How are you?
I thank God.
Okay. We say welcome, yeah?
All right,
And we tell you thank you for coming
all right,
and for being patient also to wait for us, yeah?
all right.
We tell you thank you because what you're doing here today is good. And today people will think that small thing, but a very big thing. Because whether we have war in Liberia again or we have no more war will depend on what we do. And the way you come to support what we're doing. So it means that you don't want war in Liberia anymore, and so you support peace. So we tell you thank you for coming.
All right.
What you say your name again?
My name is Jenny Kamara.
Okay, you can tell us your birth date, the time you were born.
No, about 20 years old.
Okay. Where you living?
Kamata.
What are you doing, Nana?
I'm doing farm work.
You don't go to school?
No,
You never went to school before, or you're not in school now?
I'm not going to school.
Okay. You married?
Yes,
You got children?
yes.
How many children?
2 children.
Boy and girl?
Here,
A boy and a girl?
boy and girl.
Okay, tell us the story, yeah?
Okay. TRC, I came to you to tell story about the war.
Okay.
The time we were working in Rufus War, was to our home, Kamata home. The car attacked the place, we get in the bush, we go in our village. Government children go there, they go ask my father. They say, well, the lower can go, Kumbo. The papa tell the people there. He sold the low to the people there. When they go, they say they don't see the low. They came back to the village. They say the papa allowed to them, they will kill all. They don't kill all again. They tell the papa story again. They say they let the papa must go show the low to them. They were going, the papa had himself. He came back to all. Because when time they were going, they were telling the papa, they said, when that to all, we'll go back in that village, we'll kill all of them in that village water. You have people in all. So the papa had himself, he can't tell the village. He can't tell all. We are ourselves, we get in the bush. We live in the bush now till we can pay a papa. We were there 2 months. Something was there. Make a contract for us to eat. We were there 2 months. Comment we can attack la pay again. We move from there. We come Masambra home. We also did it 1 day. They can't attack the pay again. We move from there again. We went Kola home. We made 3 more over there. They can't attack the pay again. Now the pay again, Mama, Babala. Yeah, me body nobody to my children are so me. Oh God. Oh God. Then later, what they came, Mama, would you running now? Uko in the play hembe. I go while there, one man see me. He say, you want me? Mata, I agree. Because they came up, you want it. Sophie, Masa, I agree. Me and Mary passing now, but I get pregnant. The time I get pregnant now, they message my hand again. The make girl says, the time where I did it now, they make just say again. For then, they made die in my hand again. Ulito la pena until the war finish. I did a pena to the mad people until the war finish. We go back to our home. But they were all my father bay. In Kamata home. The horse were what people used to go out there and they play, they used to sleep. But they were all they spoil the horse. Now they play now. I don't know how to sleep inside. I live with my uncle. And my uncle two owner. My grandma two living with me and she owner. We were there for bending her all until we make contract we eat. Now we can buy food the $20 for cup. Until we make contract we eat there. So I come here to talk to TLC to help me. That I want to here to tell you, you're my peace and me. I want that Sophie. I got a children with me. My sister is going to school. You're my peace and me. I came here to tell TLC That all.
Jenny?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to TRC.
Okay.
The thing where you do that big thing, you see, that's why government put TRC together to come and listen to the people.
All right.
Because these things that happen to us, it hurt too much. And not only you, it happened to plenty of people. But if we just keep it in our heart, you will not get no solution to it. And besides finding the solution to it, it will keep you down. Because you small, but every day you just be grieving in your heart. That's why sometimes it's good to say it out. When you say it, you'll be able to share your pain. Everybody here today feeling the same thing you're feeling. They understand
Yes.
how you feel now. And then that's why we say sorry. Do you understand? Let God continue to give you the strength. But you say your sister, then your pa, your ma and pa, what their name?
Eh?
What your ma and pa name?
Mama ni miata.
Miata.
Miata Kamara.
And what your pa name?
Moina Kamara. Moina.
And then you say that you got your sister,
Eh?
your ma and pa got other children beside you. Because you say your sister then
Yeah, I got sister name.
that you the big one.
Yes.
Okay, imagine. So your sister then walk to the house. What their name too?
Eh?
What your sister then name?
Honey Bendu.
Is she the only person?
No, and Hawa.
So Bennu and Hawa living with all of them with you.
No brother.
You get brother. You get brother.
I got brother.
What the brother? What the born name?
But the many I'm on, but I don't know what been here. Yes.
So what happened since the war you see him, or you say why you say you no play here?
I don't know what been here.
When the people came in your town, you were not there.
Oh no there.
So the man where you marry, that he don't want you got the children back, that you and him born. And you say you get a child,
Yes.
that you and the man get a child, the man who died, that you and him get a child.
No.
So the two children, you say you got two children?
Yes.
What the children name?
The other one I get he need answer.
What the other one name?
Miata. Miata. Ansu.
You say who are responsible? Who did it? Who killed the people that are in your town? You know the people name?
Eh?
That they come through or that lawyer?
La gomeju.
You know the big man name? What the person name?
Liani.
Yeah.
Oh no no. I don't know Liani.
You know any of them by name? We say thank you for coming, because see what you do, that the first thing you can do for yourself. Because the moment you keep the thing in your heart, it will not be able to help you. So now at least you'll be able to move on. I know you've been trying. So let God continue to be with you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Sorry for your ma, your pa. who they killed, and your other relatives, and they suffer, you suffer. He said, is it Lord or government troops?
Government troop.
That government troop grab you in a bush? That government troop kill your people?
I say you call him.
That kola when they kill your man, your pa?
Yes.
That government troop that kill them? How about your husband?
My husband, but he was sick.
He was sick. And the troops that grab you in the bush, that government troop or our Lord?
Who, my brother?
No, I said the troops that catch you in the bush, that government troops or our Lord?
Our government troop.
Who that big man? You know that big man name?
No.
You never hear before the name of the big man?
Oh, le point of going.
Yeah.
The big man.
Yeah.
Now, this is Maza.
Caesar Maza. You saw him yourself with your own eye?
My own eye?
Yeah.
No, because I was in the bush, running away.
They burn house in your town when they went there? They burn some houses in your town? They burn any house in your town? Come out town?
They burn all the whole in the town.
They catch some people, they carry with them. They tie some people, they put some people in a rope that you see.
No.
They catch some of the young girl in the town and carry them for their wife.
No.
How about the young boy then? They force some of them to join them.
Yes.
They get them. Man, the young boy stay with them until the war finish or they came back.
They kill them.
They kill them.
Yes.
How you manage to know they kill them?
Because when they pay here, they can't tell all. They put when you to catch them. They can't even for home. Like put the hard say they can't tell all.
You know some of the name or the boys then who they catch and who they carry and they kill?
Our people there?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can tell us some of the names?
Lasana Sheriff.
Lasana Sherry? That all they need you remember? That all they need you know?
Yes. Yes, and Kefahula.
The Lord forces, they came, they did any bad thing in your area? Lord, the Lord. Then they come to your area there. They do bad things there, they kill people there, they burn anybody's house there.
They kill people there.
The Lord?
Yeah, they kill plenty people there.
Who kill the people? Government true or Lord?
La government true. These are Maza.
Caesar Maza.
Yeah, they used to hold people there, they put them in the hall, they burn them.
What's in the other what's in the other bad things they used to do beside that one there?
What?
Beside that one there, but they put the people in the house, they burn them. What's in the other bad things they used to do there?
They swallow all.
And our Caesar Maza are leading the group.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh God.
Hello, Jenny.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to talk to us. We're sorry for the death of your father and your mother and the other people. Namaya. The TRC, our job not easy. We're trying to understand what happened in this country, especially here in Lofa. Plenty of people were fighting here in Lofa. They had the government people before Taylor government, they call it MPFL. But you heard that name before?
No.
You never heard MPFL, eh? Okay. Anyway, that was the name they called the Taylor people before he was elected president for their country. Then later on, one group came, they call it Ulimbo. Ulimbo J, Ulimbo K. They came and they were in the county fighting. You ever heard that one there before?
Well, I heard your name.
You heard that name, Ulimbo K, Ulimbo J, or just Ulimbo. You ever heard that name?
Yes.
Where you heard it from?
What about where?
Yeah, where you heard that name from?
Me?
Yeah.
What about you?
No, where you heard that name Ulimbo from?
Oh, la Quran.
Okay, you don't remember, eh? Okay. Then another time after the election in 1997, they have government forces here in Lofak. Then the Lord people came. 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, they called Lord. They came here from Guinea and they attacked the city here. Now, the story you told us just now, what time that story happened? Do you remember?
No, that I was small.
You were small. That more than 10 years ago?
I can't remember that one.
So it means you can't remember who did the thing to you, really. You don't really know, right?
Yes.
You don't know, but you just know that somebody killed your mom, your pa, and that somebody raped you. But exactly who did it, what group they belong to, you don't really know, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. God bless.
Jenna, sorry. We say Nyuma for your man and pa death. The time you were killing your man, you saw it yourself?
No, later on went in the bush. I came I made my body was nana.
How the body was looking, it was still like one body that you would know how to kill her?
No, la bread ho.
That what?
Bread.
She was bright.
Yeah. No, la bread ho.
Oh, they kill her with gun. Okay. And then when you saw the body, the hair, the food, everything was still there.
Yeah.
People help you to bury your man?
No.
You just ran away, you left the body there.
Yes.
What's about your pa? Your pa?
My papa they kill me.
They kill your pa? You saw that on there too? You saw the people killing him?
No. Yes, I come in body then.
When you came to the town and you saw your pa body?
Yes.
How they kill him? They sing gun?
No. They call him through.
They cut out your pa throat?
Yes.
So when you came, you saw the body, the hair was still there?
Yeah. Mama.
Okay. The people in the town help you to bury your pa? They help you to bury your pa?
No.
So you just left the body there too?
Myself run away.
And you were running away?
Yes.
The time you were running away, that the first time you met the soldier there? The time you were running away, that the first time you saw the soldier there?
Yes.
How they were dressed?
How they were dressed?
Yeah, what thing were on them?
They were got
uniform. Military uniform.
What thing? Soya uniform.
Yeah, soldier uniform that you were on them.
Yes.
They tie red cloth on their hair?
Yes.
They tie red cloth on their hair?
Yes.
Okay. So that how you managed to know that government forces, right? But in the era you heard about any other in the era you hear the name about another fighting group?
What I heard you knew the fighting?
Yeah, another group. They're the people who the government forces were fighting. You know which of the fighting group they were fighting?
No.
You know who the government were fighting in the era? Who were the government were fighting?
Who are going to fighting? The law forces.
Law forces.
Yes.
So during that time you see any law forces?
Government forces?
No, Lord. You are
law forces? No.
You don't see no law forces?
They can run away. They are so running away.
Okay.
What is Dene?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to ask you one question. How you know the difference between government force and land force? You know the difference?
When you see government force, you know, you will see law.
Law force and government force. You know the difference between the two?
Because I used to see government to party, we used to have uniform on it, soil clothes. But law force will not have soil clothes on it.
So the people who kill your people, that people who handle uniform?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anything else on your mind or in your heart that you want to tell us, the TRC, before you go?
The only thing I had to tell TRC to help me, because I have my sister there with me, they're going to school, they must help me. Number two, again, I got no food for me to eat. I'm stuffing all day. They spoil our home. They spoil my father's house. TRC must help me to pay that one for me. Because I got my grandma living with me, that one old. My uncle old. So I had to tell TRC to help me to do that one for me.
Okay. We hear you here. And we say thank you.
Thank you too.
Everything you say, we'll now mark it down. When the time comes to make the decision, we'll make the decision, yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lucia Foncia. I promise.
All the things have come to talk with TRC.
I can't talk to
The things have come to talk
I can't go to
TRC.
the TRC.
That's true.
That's true.
Nothing but truth.
Nothing but true.
Help me, God.
I've been called.
I,
James Wayane,
do solemnly swear
that the interpretation have come to me on behalf of Lucy Foncia will be done to the best of my ability. So help me God.
We want to say thanks for volunteering to assist with the interpretation.
Oye.
We want to request that during the interpretation, you speak in the first person. You speak for her. Don't say she say or anything like that. Just what she say, you say as if you are her talking to us. Okay? Man Lucy, we want to say welcome and thank you for coming to the TRC.
Man Lucy, wow.
I put it on.
Man Lucy, wow, monkey, we want the TRC.
Okay.
We're happy that you come because what we're doing here is for the good of the country. And once you come, it means that you have come to support peace and reconciliation in Liberia. So we ask you a few questions And then afterwards, we introduce the commissioners to you. Then from there, you will give your testimony. And after your testimony again, we ask some questions.
Question dia itu, para question itu orang ni baga, wama tasa, oya tasa, wani ni bede konji jabe ke kwensa.
So the first question we want to ask is, where do you live presently?
Dia mau kita kan mau tata kaya.
Chan Moe.
I live Moe.
And what do you do for living on a daily basis?
Then you kwa ni Moe bo team where?
Then you agree.
I'm a farmer.
Can you kindly tell us your date of birth, if you remember?
I'm a guy watching so young big tion.
Say so you do a present here, my move, and you look on check on a set, Thomas.
I do not know my year, but when my eyes opened, I only see Thomas. I saw Thomas, President Thomas.
President Totman.
Yes.
Okay, with that, I will introduce the commissioners. The first commissioner there is Sheikh Kafuma Kone. Sheikh Kafuma Kone. Next to him is Per Brambu. Next to her, sitting next to me, is Dede Dorope. And on my left, right next to me, is Massa Washington. And next to her is Umu Sila. And I am Chirum Fuedia. So we say thank you, welcome. You can now tell us your story.
Nếu gì giờ nếu cuộc mà được cái để bố gì giờ cái mà thì bé ok thì bé na thế na tua na bài APC tua na bài.
The reason I came here is when the war came, LPC came in reverses.
1992.
1993.
1993.
1993. Bob. TV jaga kwanza. Be quiet.
Thì bé tua na ba FPC tua na ba na rifa ani re mo pokri bo se ba re nyoni kwa ya ke anyu kri.
When the LPG the war came, 995 were on the farm plenty rest.
Thì anh ni mo po nye FPC crew so re mo so mo kwa đó.
When I was playing the rest, the LPC crew led by Saw, they came on the farm.
Thì wana jie cái ni juba ni kri obwe wa ko ni juba.
When they got on the farm, my husband and myself, we were on the farm.
Thì bé wana ju wa no ko ni tnemle so kri. Ko wa san kun.
When they grabbed me, at that time pregnant for 7 months, and they tied me on my back.
Chị wana ji ko nye wa ko ni juba ko wa pa bo ji wa ko wa chin tree.
When they sat me on the ground, they carried my husband before me, and they went and cut off his neck.
Ti wana ne juba atru iche.
When he cut out his knife,
Wasake.
they went open his stomach
Ke wa me die.
and they gave me some part of his body for me to eat it.
Wa komara ra gbanse na be obe die.
And the commander said, no. I didn't say. And the commander said, no. I didn't say the mom should eat the part of her husband.
Ana wana na nyua ko re ni jumo ni sonson juwe wa pon juwe wa pa ke juwe ni amuke.
After that, one of my sons, at the age of 2 years, they took him away.
Ina ne juwa che wona ke na sa se jebe.
I walked after my son and I cannot get him.
Mana mane juwa do ba nyi mane juwa chi ne kuro ya mo ite.
From the time they have killed my husband, if I was to see my son, my house would be satisfied.
Ana kwa
That's all I have to tell you.
nde fra ro ble de ben ke konsa. Kuro ya mo sia.
I cannot go further because my heart is burning. What apostle?
And we say normal
I'm back on.
for all that happened to you.
But the sin I'm
What happened to you is wrong. That's why you see we are here today from the TRC to come and tell you that all the Liberian people, ourselves who here, the government, everybody says sorry. We know that these bad things happen. That is why they established the TRC. We know that women suffer too much, and up to now they are still suffering because of the war. That's why they established the TRC. So that we can find a way for all of us after the war to live in peace and try to put the past behind us. So we say sorry for the death of your husband, which you were not responsible for. But today you are living with the pains and the grief. We'll ask you some questions and we'll be saying some things to you. Can you please tell us the name of your son?
My son's name is Arthur.
Arthur.
I thought to away car, what
I thought to away.
ba.
And her husband, what's her husband's name?
Change to away. What by?
James to away is my husband name.
When you were carrying your son, you saw them doing anything to him, or they just took him alive without harming him?
Don't want to do a bar and you go under the poon, you walk on the film, walk ball.
And if I'm go up by what's a little pony.
You are alive when they carry him.
Okay, check.
Madam Witness, let me join the chairman to say our sympathy to you. We know it is painful to see the husband that you love and the child that you bore for 9 months and went through labor pain to see them being killed and taken away for no justifiable reason. It's painful. Not everybody can withstand it. But you need to thank God. Because with all the pains, your mind stays sound. And from your physical appearance, you are hefted. God did that for you to come here today to tell us what took place. And as you have explained to us, that was the obligation that you had with your son and your husband. So I want to urge you not to cry anymore. People who did that, if they are dead, they are before the law who can best judge. And if they are alive, they are now scared, they are worried. If you bring this matter to their attention, they don't want to hear. They are now cowed. So cry no more. Just continue to pray to God. Like the chairman said, we will ask you a few questions. This child, how old was the child?
My child was 2 years old.
2 years old. Can you see a 2 years old child who wrongs nobody? But do you know if at any time they ever express the reason why they kill your husband?
Nobody to tell me the reason why they killed my husband.
They themselves don't tell you why. The people who did the act, they don't tell you why they are killing your husband.
They didn't tell me anything.
See how wicked are people. Besides killing, what else they did? Did they do anything bad besides killing your husband and taking away of your child?
No.
They didn't burn no house, they didn't burn no town.
Was it Burufon or was it Wolfon? anya juba ba ona juba pa e.
Wa fon kro be kin ko wa jara bu chwa ko wa ba kai.
They point the period times before the king on our farm.
And did it take away women and young people?
Was it the busa pa or was it the pa?
Wa sa wo nyo san ba bu ta mu. Ma yi do ke ne juo.
They took 2 persons from my yard, 1 girl and my son.
Do you know any of these people where above now? Do you know whether any of them stay alive?
Nyuma dia ke be wa do ta juwe o be chin ke be wa di ni fe mu ke ni.
Yo wa kon ma lo na me mo so.
The commander was so and he said so at that.
But do you know where this dog can be found?
This so is there.
It's there. What about the others?
You know there is that so so you fool.
You are in demo bobo. So why you just buy one APC?
I didn't know that because they are LPC and the LPC they are from Monrovia or they are not from Rivers, so I could not recognize them.
Thank you. And sir,
so,
what happened?
Maluse, I want to tell you thank you for coming and sitting down today to tell your story.
Moga supo beke jiki ku beke ne kare kwensage.
Working? Is it working?
Yeah.
Although the man who killed your husband is dead, Mr. Augustine Zoe, I think that's Zoe. But the bad that he did will still live after him. No doubt he left maybe a wife and children too. And instead of them looking at him to be like a good father, today you can say, and will be put in a history book, that when you did and all of us did, they will still know what the late Augustine Zoe did to the Liberian people.
Inje o family wa be ya mo wa kana inje omo ka mo yi data ke amo la branye ke amo sa ya mo because ajwe deba be onyun de biege.
We know for you to lose your husband is not easy.
Inje ajwe yo ne juba ko buso ga se de tiwe.
People will take advantage of you all kind of way. I feel for you because I'm too a widow. You lost your husband, you lost your child. I can feel for it because it happened to me too. But you got to be strong and tell God thank you because you still going on. Do you have any other children?
Yes.
How many?
Have 7.
Okay. Your children, just try so your children can make contribution to their country and to you. So we sorry, yeah? All the children in school?
You say in school.
Say Boakai no blue.
I do not have helper.
You even can only man friends, eh?
Say bad no blue fool.
Mle ba to ke ani kone ani kaji ani.
I have a friend, but you know we live in the interior and it is not easy.
Okay, but thank you. God will make a way.
Let's walk. Why you know?
But when He making that way, your arm will be open to see that a way made for you. And thank you very much.
Let's walk.
Listen, I can hint. Malu say, I just want to say sorry to you for, the thing that happened to you was very, very bad. But may God continue to bless you. Yeah, I don't have any questions for you.
Malu say,
You said you were 7 months pregnant. So what happened to you after that? Where is the child you're pregnant with?
Malu say, then the question is, what the sokuri? Get their page. Tell me, page. Please, one got a my child is at the house.
What's the name of that child?
Funny there.
Foreign there. The child is foreign there. Rest in peace.
Is the child a boy or a girl?
Mayu.
Girl.
I understand how you feel after all these years for what happened to your husband. But can you remember any of the people named who carry your son, the 2-year-old boy, besides Augustine Zor?
Say, your bad work just and so.
The person that took my child from me is the commander Zor. He himself took my child from me.
Thank you.
That's all.
Maluse. Good morning.
Well.
And thank you for coming to the TRC. Thank you for the courage that brought you here today. Have my sympathy for the death of your husband. It is not easy to lose a family member. But we thank God that you can have the strength to come here today to give voice to your husband.
I
got only one question and it concerns your son. Since the day they took your son, have you heard anything about him as to where they took him to?
Yes, I heard about him. When they killed him, I left and went Monrovia to look for him.
Cái chuyện nó mua một số mà cô ní ở Brita.
When I went to saw wife, they call Makoni.
Na để số mà cô ní ở bộ mua ra để chúa. Số xả đấy có chế bộ trả chế có xe bộ như này. Cái này chúa này grand chỉ đấy.
Makoni said, yes, it is true. Saul took your child from your area, but he never reached the child yet. He left the child in Granji there.
She told you who he left the child with in Granji there?
So mà cô ní ở chế cả bé. Và nên xe đi này và một con nhà mà bê chúa kìa. Cái xe đi đây này đã. Như LPC. Có một xe đi qua này mà qua coi. Có mà bà.
Makoni said that it was a cheerleader or husband Saul gave my son to.
The cheerleader
the cheerleader for LPC.
Okay. The cheerleader of LPC. Okay. Where is Makoni now?
That Makoni is there.
I need to go.
Makoni is in Monrovia.
She's in Monrovia. She know exactly where in Monrovia Makoni is living.
Where to what? Makoni on time? Yes, I know that.
That where?
There.
Yeah, there we see why football field gì này nè. Na football quá như thế này để hủy rồi nè. Dia sao coi? Để ở bùn đi. Để sợ quay mà nè cả này mua apa con.
Here, Dory, when you pass by the football field, there's a dusty road that going in on your right hand side. And there where Saul horse is, and there where his body graveyard now.
His horse is there.
Yeah, his horse is there, and the grave is there now. Saul's grave.
The grave is there too.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask on it. What Makoni last name?
Makoni last name, Joanne?
So that's in there.
I didn't know her last name.
How she look?
Koini so, eh?
I'm on your D since
She's a bright, slim lily.
You
She got open teeth.
Okay. You know the name of the cheerleader they gave the child to?
You cheerleader called Wanya, you are there?
Cheerleader saying, Bunina.
She didn't call the cheerleader need to me.
Okay. All right. Thank you, yeah.
Yes, so
I myself living here to be here. When I go back, myself will take it on. I will try to find Saul grave. And I will ask questions. And then we see what happens. We can something.
Now I'm going to go.
No man here. Okay.
Còn gì anh thì đều bơm ở mà đi tạm bơm pa con anh yêu bùa đi.
Okay, one more question. Which year she went to see Makoni? Which year?
So you more Makoni jira?
So yara mu?
This year.
This year?
Yes.
In year to be there? Okay.
So now get trekking.
The first month of this year, January.
Okay. The time you get your statement to the people, then you put your contact address there.
Tamo ya nyi ma nyo de pa boy kwensa bo che yon ke tamo ajare bo be ga chi e bo
mpo ba ni.
She said yes.
Okay, thank you.
And so
Lucy?
Lucy?
Yo.
We have come to the end of your testimony. And all of us say thanks for coming.
I, Mary Ann Branier, do solemnly swear that my testimony and achievements I come to present with the TRC of Liberia, the truth, nothing but truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Please be seated. You were introduced and first. Good morning, Madam Witness. On behalf of the Commission, we want to say welcome and thank you so heartily for accepting our invitation to come and address the Commission. As you know, our country has just recently emerged from a prolonged conflict, and where we are trying to understand what happened, how it happened, to whom it happened to, and then how we can move forward. One of those members of our society we know were directly afflicted by the conflict are women. And in recognition of this fact, the TRC is holding a special thematic session, and we have identified you as one of our most prominent mothers who have been around for quite a while. You are and was of the LWR, Liberia Women Initiative, during the early days of the war. So we thought that your experience, sharing it with the Commission and the people of Liberia, will help us to understand the past and find reasonable grounds for moving forward in unity and peace. Against that background, we say welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much. But before I begin this presentation, my conscience has been worrying me. Have a confession to make and an open apology to give. And that open confession is that a few days ago, my son, Dr. H. Boima Fambule, was here with the TRC. To be frank with you, I did not want to hear, because as I told my daughter away from Australia, I didn't want my pressure to go up. But people kept calling me, and so I was compelled. And I'm happy that he was open to tell whatever involvement was and whatever he did. But I want to say, especially that I see this room packed with women, that we, the mothers, we have to be very, very careful. We have to study our children, know what they are capable of doing and what they are not capable of doing. I should have known better as a mother that at the age of 19, my son had just come from Freetown to Liberia from Forobe College. Few days after, he was arrested and imprisoned with his father. His father, which was charged with treason, tortured and brutalized because he had befriended the Chinese ambassador in Kenya, and they shared notes and everything else. Our people said he wanted to bring communism to our country. Boima remained in prison. I did everything I could to get him out. Finally, I was advised to go and see President Totman. So I traveled to Swakoko to meet with the president after making an appointment. As soon as he saw me, he got in a rage and all. Your son has been carrying the university students to the court to make mockery of the treason trial going on with his father. When he got through talking, I said, Mr. President, my son does not live in Liberia. He only got in few days ago. He attends school at Fort Bay College. You can send to the university and they can check their rosters. If they find his name there, keep him in prison as long as you want. But he doesn't even know the students at the university. He said, I don't believe it. I said, well, you investigate. I left from there and I came home. Sunday morning, I went to my son 3J compound and I told him, I said, I've been to the president up to Toyota and our conversation and what they had told him. When he came, I left from there. I said, well, let's keep our fingers crossed and pray. That's all. That evening, as I sat home, my front door opened and he and Bestman walked in. Said that Bestman just went and told him the president should come. So from age 19, he has been faced with all the problems. And as a mother, I should have known better, but I'm not ashamed to tell the women here that for almost 10 years, I had nothing to do with my son. Nothing whatsoever. Friends talked to me. Ministers of the gospel talked to me. Oh no, I didn't. So in this open manner, especially with all you women, I want to apologize to my child openly for not trusting his integrity and the principles he stands for. And mothers, let this be a warning. A mother to all of you is Ma Mary, Mother Brenda, our Ma, everything. If I can tell you this, sometimes we run our children because we do not study them. Thank you. Councillor Cherry, she room for idea. I don't know who told her I didn't forget he with his afro haircut. Chairman and Commissioner of the TRC, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Liberians. I present my compliments and thank the Almighty God for his blessing on us as a people under one state. I bring to this hearing representation of the Liberian women voice. I understand that this is a thematic hearing that focuses on the role of women in the Liberian conflict. I'm also aware that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission has invited women in the Commission's view with knowledge and experience in cross-cutting issues and in women issues in general. The Commission designates this thematic hearing under the theme Liberian Women and the Conflict Experiences, Impact and Role in Peace Building and National Development, and is aimed at addressing the experiences of Liberian women during the conflict and the particular role in peace building and post-war reconstruction. As everyone is knowledgeable about the recent turbulent history of Liberia, should by now know we the Liberian women participated fully in the war that raged for nearly 50 years from December 1985 to 2003. The Liberian women participated fully because the other half of the gender, men, could not do without women. Naturally, in the words, in bad times or good times, Liberian women and men have faced together. So Liberian women are separated and face the consequences of the Liberian war together with the Liberian men. Liberian women have been telling these tales of sorrow, struggle, and courage, and they will continue to do so. However, in the Liberian society, I suppose in other African societies too, the roles of women and men differ traditionally. Of course, physiologically, women and men are not the same. Therefore, the traditional and psychological traits of Liberian women and men made them act differently in the war, to each other and against each other. It is within this understanding that I will present experiences of Liberian women during the conflict and their role in peace and post-war reconstruction. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, I've already said Liberian women participated fully in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, in the Liberian conflict. However, the levels of the participation of the Liberian women in the conflict depended on their ages, experiences, occupations, and background. I'm sure by now you are familiar in listening to accounts of episodes of our brutal war during these hearings. Of course, we are now aware how the war conflicted in a short time, much to our surprise and wonder, even escalating the expectations of those who planned it. From lines advanced fast, again ground quickly, just the factions merge and multiply in number as months went to years. With it, peace meditation attempts were staged around the sub-region, and interim or transitional governments were formed and planted. In all these warring factions, peace negotiations, and interim governments, one thing was constant: all major actors were men. Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, I cannot remember a single Liberian woman who served in any senior position in these warring accusations, neither in the military nor in the political wing, save Madam Ruth Sando Perry, who served as interim head of state. Even so, she was not a member of any of the warring factions. As the war became hybrid-headed, the associated problems brought by the conflict always multiplied and became multidimensional. In other words, the consequences of gaining battleground without taking power, increasing murder of factions without clear and political ideologies, and meditation attempts that yielded no impact were already telling negatively on the people of Liberia. This situation is rightly summarized in the book Liberian Women Peacemaker, Fighting for the Right to be Seen, Heard, and Counted, a 2004 publication of the African Women and Peace Support Group, on pages 2 and 3. As follows: the fighters were not trained soldiers. A large number of young boys, some as young as 8 years, and men who joined for adventure, or more often to avenge killings of kin and townspeople, to protect their communities from factions, or because they were given ultimatum of join or be killed. They defied and defiled traditions, held people hostage, raped and tortured women and children, murdered at will. Many were said to be on drugs. A significant number of young girls were captured and were victims of atrocities, acts of rape, and other gender-based violence. While most of the girls did not take part in action combat, they served as bushwives to the combatants, cooking, carrying loads, and being sex slaves, often to multiple partners. This description is not part of fairy tale or a novelist. It is a documentary or work of a scientific researcher. This now brings us to the role of women in the conflict. Before we talk of Liberian women in the conflict, we must indeed know how the war affected the women. From the beginning of women's involvement in political peace process, our statement was clear. War was being fought by men, but women felt the brunt. As quoted above, women were held hostage. They were tortured and raped. Some were even killed. Girls were captured. They served as bush slaves and as child soldiers. Some were used as cooks, load carriers, and sex slaves. Of course, we saw in pictures some young girls with heavy arms and income-backed figure uniforms moving along with warring factions. I cannot say for sure whether these girls really fought at the battlefield. What we know is that many Liberian women, sometimes the same women, were raped by fighters from all sides. This implies that the rapers, the perpetrators, were male, that is either boys or girls. What I did not hear and have not heard up to now is a case of a man or boy raped by a girl or woman during the conflict. If this holds true, then conversely, this implies that the girls and women who fought with the warring factions were not involved in the act of rape. I know that the stigma of rape still makes it as a crime that most of our women find too difficult to speak out of. I only hope some courageous women victims have come forward to testify before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission already. The first role we need to recognize of the Liberian women in conflict, their traditional service in preserving and sustaining lives. The women went out to find food. They kept the children safe, and many women even sealed men from danger. Early in 1990, immediately after the first interim government was established, women began to join together to develop informal organizations to help victims of the war through relief. Dorothy Dix, who was the coordinator of SEP, which was not entirely a women's organization, assisted communities to approve food distribution as a method of peace building rather than a scarce schools that could include divisions. Madam D's role as a coordinator of such a major relief agency during a period marked by massive displacement and subsequent relocation of individuals, families, and communities is indicative of the key role women played in the early stages of the conflict. The time came when we, the Liberian women, reached the conclusion that relief work and advocacy alone were not enough, and we decided to move direct political activism. We did not have guns, but we felt that we, the women, needed to do something. So we called a mass meeting on February 2nd, 1994 for women from all walks of life, regardless of where they came from, their ethnic background or religious affiliation. And so all of these women came to the Monrovia City Hall, and we formed the Liberian Women Initiative that was a movement rather than an organization or a coalition of organizations. This was more like an offspring